What's going on, guys? I thought I would continue what seems to be a little mini series of lens comparisons. Um, this is the Sigma 17 to 70 uh, 2.5 to 4 versus the new-ish 24 millimeter f2.8 IS prime from Canon. Um, So, with any prime, if you didn't already know this as you're watching, there is no difference in focal length. It's fixed. So this is always going to be 24 millimeters, which on a crop body is, for Canon, is 24 times 1.6, which is about 38. So this is essentially, not essentially, it is 38 millimeters. This, for some reason, as much as I try to get the Sigma on a 24 millimeter, it always gives me 25. And you can actually see that, you can't really see it here, but when I do the zoom test for sharpness and whatnot on the edges, you can see, because I had this set up on a tripod, all conditions equal, 1/640 of a second, 7.1 and 125. Again, shout at these two houses. I'm focusing on the balcony of this house here, where I'm pointing. And same as the Sigma to Tamron test. So I wanted to check to see two things. One, for chromatic aberration, because the Sigma, when I tested this particular photo or shot, angle, whatever, with the Tamarons and the Sigma had noticeably less chromatic aberration. And then with Lightroom or Camera Raw or whatnot, you can correct that very easily. It's ridiculous. So it doesn't really matter all that much if you do get a lens that has it. But it's nice to start off with a lens that's clean with the settings as they are with the raw file. So both these are non-touched or processed, touched up, whatever. The Sigma that's on the right is obviously darker. I can see that. Hopefully you can as well. Maybe at the end, and I'll put another bubble to annotate to take you to the end where I process both these photos. See if there's any difference after processing, but there's not much to process. There's not a cloud in the sky, and again, I'm just testing for the sharpness. So going 1-to-1, and again, I'm focusing right here on this balcony. They're pretty darn equal. The Tamron, as I recall, was softer, much softer. Again, the Sigma is darker. Again, all the settings are the same. I'm not sure why it's a bit darker, so it's a little more contrasty to start with. Obviously, you can adjust that in post. So let's get to the nitty gritty. Go 3-to-1 and focus on the slots of the railing. Honestly, they're equally as sharp. To my eye, I can't pick a winner. They're virtually identical in the center of the shot. I'm looking at the stack for the toilet here and the chimney. On the chimney and the slots, I'm not seeing any chromatic aberration on either of these two lenses, which is a good thing. I had the lens shield, or the pedal. Oh God, I'm at a loss for what that's called right now. I had that off on both because I don't have a shield for the 24 millimeter. But here's the meat and potatoes of this video. I know I make you wait a long time before I get to it. The sharpness across the board. As you recall, the Sigma, which is on the right here, was soft at the extreme right edge. And you're finding that again here. And this is also, you can see the difference between 24 millimeter and a 25. You can see this tree here, it's cut off here. So that's a pretty good difference. But again, we're zoomed in 3:1 here, so it's pretty ridiculous. I don't know when you would ever do that. But on the edges of the photo, you can clearly see that the Sigma does fall a bit short of the prime. It should. I mean, good grief, it's a prime lens for heaven's sake. And at 7.1, this should be pretty darn clear across the board. So it's showing that in this case, this little bush here is clearly, pun intended, in focus more than this. Just for fun, I'll go see if I can get it here real quick. I did a test on that sign again. Alright, there's a 24. There's 24. There's 24. Okay, there's 24. I believe that's a 25. Yes, it is. Okay, I did that one right. Alright. Now, this is at night. Same sign that you saw. The 24 millimeter 2.8 is over here on the left. And again, we got 25 millimeters. I cannot seem to get it on the 24. I'm not complaining, just weird that that's happening. Again, I had the focus point on the C here. So if we're going to zoom, 3:1. The 24 millimeter is a little softer in the middle than the Sigma. Again, I mean, it's better than the Tamron, I think. It's also a bit brighter. Again, that seems to be the case across the board. The Sigma is just a bit darker, just in every shot it takes. I'm not sure why. 24 millimeter prime. The settings here are 1/200th of a second, 3.2, and 125 ISO. They're both the same. Since it's a shot at night and I'm just shooting a well-lit sign, to go over to the edge, it's negligible. I mean, maybe honestly the Sigma might have a bit of a winning edge here, maybe, which is surprising. But either way, to me this solidifies the new Sigma 17-70 2.8-4 as a really good walk-around lens for inside and outside. If you're inside, you can go to the 25 millimeter and below and be at 3.2. If you're at 17, obviously you can be at 2.8. So you can go pretty low for indoor shots without a flash. And if something is well lit like this sign, it's clear as sharp as a tack. It's clear as a bell. This is great. At 3:1, it's wonderful. So in this video, I'm not going to bother developing the two as a comparison. I think I edited this one, but it's a 25 millimeter. Yeah. So edited. Let it load here a second. It's even sharper. I mean, you can see all the details of the crack more. You can see the details of the white paint where this is washed out a bit. But I'm sure if I were to take the time to actually develop the 24 millimeter, it may actually be sharper if I boosted the sharpness and the contrast and that. you do see some noise with the Sigma after I developed it, but nothing too extreme, especially when zoomed out. But I figured I'd just let you see that as for fun at the end of the video. So if you're in the market, again, either for the 24mm prime, the 2.8-D image stabilization, or you're in the market for the fairly new Sigma 17 to 70, 2.8-4. I hope these videos have helped. I know comparing the lenses on my own have helped, and you can shut this video off at the right now if you don't care. But buying the 17 to 70 for me was a bit of a happy accident. I was just looking for a decent walk-around lens that was somewhere in the $500 range, and let's see what happens. I'm gonna develop this as I talk. I was just looking for a good walk-around lens that wasn't too heavy, had pretty good reviews, albeit a pretty new lens, so there wasn't much. There weren't a lot of videos on it, which is kind of why I decided to make my own after buying it. But I didn't realize, it's one of those deals where you don't realize what you got until you've had it for a while, or hopefully this doesn't happen, but until it's gone. And with the Sigma 17 to 70, for me, I really got lucky, because when I bought it, I really was just looking for an upgrade to the kit and didn't have a real good idea about what to get and what not to get in terms of lenses. And I don't want to get vulgar here, but I stepped in you-know-what and came out smelling rosy, so, can't beat that. Whoops. Boost this just a little bit, not that much. That's really sharp. Whoops. Oh, I was just developing the Sigma. I'm so used to the way that looks. Alright, I really wouldn't do much different because it's the same shot. So let's do this. Whoops. And just sync it. It worked. Why is this so damn blurry? Okay, it's loading. There we go. Alright, now they're both developed. I would actually underexpose now the prime is on the right, but I would actually underexpose that, because again, the Sigma gives you that a bit of a vignetting, and there's virtually none, nor should there be, on a prime with a cropped body. For those of you that are concerned with the histogram, you can see the difference as I go back and forth. The histogram on the Sigma is better. Okay, phone's ringing. I gotta run. I'll catch y'all later. Happy shooting. Later.